Good morning to everyone on this first day of February 2026. I'm glad to see so many of you here, even though we've had this cold snap. I'm just glad that people are still coming out, people are still online, joining us and worshiping with us. Today, I'm going to talk about spirit communication. Spiritualist and spiritualism is unique because of one of its foundational pillars, which is spirit communication. Spirit communication is not new. This has been going on since the beginning of the earliest record keeping of humanity. We've had oracles and seers, prophets, and shamans who have all indulged in and had spirit communication. We have shamans who have altered their state of mind to receive that connection with those in the spirit world. That for us is equal to our meditation, quieting our minds, going within, being able to connect spirit with those in the spirit realm, with our loved ones, with our families, with our friends. Judaism, Christianity, and Islam all have prophets, and talk about prophets who have made that connection, who have received divine messages from those in the spirit world. So this is not something new. This is not something that spiritualism started, but this is something spiritualism has continued, has made the progress move forward. This is something that spiritualism is founded upon, spirit communication. It's ongoing and it's interactive and it's part of our everyday lives. And what is some of the benefits of spirit communication? We receive guidance and wisdom. We receive messages from our spirit loved ones that they are okay. We receive reassurance. We receive love. There's so many benefits that we receive. I remember spirits wanting to relay to a sitter that they were okay now, that they were feeling much better. I was doing a reading for a sitter, and when I first started off, right away, my chest just caved inward. Right away, everything felt heavy, and I could feel myself just folding in on myself. And I'm thinking, what is this? What is this heaviness that's on my chest so much? And as I'm giving this reading to the sitter, things started lightening up. Instead of that heaviness that was on my chest, I began to rise up. I began to open up. I began to feel, oh, I can breathe again. Because at one point I felt I couldn't. Well, the message was, I'm okay now. The person in the spirit realm, in the spirit world, had COPD. And that's what I was feeling. But as I continued the message and giving the reading, everything lightened up and the air flowed freely. And that's what the spirit wanted to get through to their sitter, to their loved ones, to reassure them that I'm okay now. I'm pain-free now. And that's many times what we receive as in our spirit communications. Other benefits of spirit communication that can be really, really global and touch so many people as we continue with spirit communication. And that is touching in and talking and communicating with our ancestors and hopefully learning to unlearn limiting beliefs that we have, or unplugging, so to speak, from family traumas. We can go back and talk with those, even if you didn't know them on this earth plane, and find out those different things. Find out how to move forward positively yourself by unplugging from something that's been generational, some trauma that was generational from each generation to generation, and we continue to move that forward. In spirit communication, we can touch in and talk about that and learn more about that, and then begin to work on ourselves and learn to unplug from that. That's another benefit, major benefit of spirit communication. Spirit communication can heighten our creativity. It can heighten our intuition. The more you do it, the more you're going to become a part of it. The more you do it, the more it's going to become a part of your life. So there are so many benefits to spirit communication. It also gives us empathy towards others, other living beings, because we know that each and every one of us, we all have a spark of the divine within each and every one of us. Knowing that and seeing that and recognizing that will help you with your enemies as well as those that you love. Another benefit of spirit communication, that is, it helps to ease the pain of bereavement. Why is that? Because we know that our spirit loved one is not just totally gone, has not been annihilated, our spirit loved one is still part of our lives. And that's wonderful and precious. True, we still grieve because we want that person in the 3D. We want to be able to use our physical senses. We want to be able to touch, to give a kiss to see with our physical eyes. But we also know that their consciousness has gone on. We also know that their personality continues. There's many times when we give in readings that personality comes through before the person even tells us who they are. We get, oh, this person is very outgoing. This person is an extrovert, because you feel that personality. The personality didn't change. The person wasn't an extrovert when they were here in the physical body. They're still an extrovert in the spirit world. So that helps us to know that once the physical change called death occurs, that transition, that it's not just all over, that it's not just a done deal. That's it, it's over. We know that is not true. And we know that because of spirit communication, of being able to make that connection. We survive. We survive our transition. Our spirits cannot be destroyed. That's something that will stay with us. Our consciousness remains with us, even when we're out of the physical body. There's a saying, where there's smoke, there's fire. And that means there are signs or something going on, or maybe rumors or suspicions going on, and there's usually some truth behind that. Smoke points to an underlying reality, the fire. Where there's smoke, there's fire. I've talked to you about spiritualists in the 19th century. We in the 19th century, for spiritualists, we were holding seances, making, having that connection. Also, I talked about prophets and seers and shamans, still having that connection, that spirit communication, that spirit interaction with the other side. Well, there's also, in today's world, There are many entertainers, actors, actresses who believe in spirit communication, such as Kate Hudson, Goldie Hawn, Keanu Reeves, Ariana Grande, Emma Stone. All these celebrities have made it publicly known that they believe in spirit interaction, that they believe that there's a connection with those on the other side. So it's becoming more mainstream, and that's wonderful because it's becoming more part of our lives. We think of it as supernatural experiences, supernatural events going on. And all of these entertainers have been outspoken about this. So as we continue moving forward, as spiritualists, continue moving and pushing that envelope forward, we can think of it as natural events, natural occurrences, natural part of our everyday lives that are super. We are moving spirit communication away from the scariness, spirit communication away from the woo-woo, spirit communication away from, wait, only certain prophets can do that. Only certain people can do that. Only that was back in the past. No, we're bringing that forward. We're moving that forward. We've always believed in that. We've always demonstrated that we have spirit communication in this day and age. Some methods for spirit communication are so plentiful. Spirit will find any way, every way to communicate with you. Some of the common ones, signs, birds or a flower. We can also receive messages in spirit communication through our daydreams. While the mind is wandering and you're really not paying attention, spirit can move in. Also through our dreams at night. And that's because the ego mind has taken a rest. And now the spirit, the subconscious mind will allow spirit communication to come in. Electrical disturbances, like a flickering of lights. I know one woman who knows that every time the lights in the bathroom flickers, she knows that that is her husband who's coming in, just touching in with her. And we exhausted, making sure it wasn't electrical shortages, making sure it wasn't the bulbs needed to be changed. And it's always the bulbs in the bathroom. And they just flicker, and she just knows that he is around her, sending her reassurance around her, letting her know that she's not alone. And that's really, really comforting to her. Family scents, smells of pumpkin pie, sweet potato pie, smells that you grew up with. Those things can come back to you, and you think right away of your mother or some loved one, or your grandmother, grandfather. Cigar smoke, you think of your grandfather and maybe your grandmother. So finding objects, that's another way, another means of method of communication. Many times I ask, where are my car keys? Because I seem to want to put them everywhere except where I need them to be. Another thing is my glasses. I'm always asking spirit, now where did I put my glasses now? So it is becoming more and more that I touch in with spirit on just about everything, such as my glasses and my car keys. Sometimes you might hear a favorite song and immediately you think of that person, bringing them closer, bringing them back into your heart, bringing that memory back into your heart. All of this is spirit communication on different various levels. But as spiritualism pushes the envelope forward, it's going to become everyday. It's going to become an everyday part of our lives. Spirit communication in our service, we practice it in our lives. We have companionship, we have reassurance, we have ease of bereavement, knowing that our personality, our consciousness, our spirit is not erased when we make our transitions. And hopefully that allows you to look at transitions, your own and those of others, with softer eyes. True, like I said, we grieve, but yet we want to make sure that we know that they are still a part of our lives. And we demonstrate that through spiritualism. We say in our principles that we have communication with spirit. We say in our principles that we also believe in prophecy. That's spirit communication. We know that we can touch in with those in the spirit realm. We know that we can have that part be a big part of our lives. We know that those in the spirit realm are part of our lives today, yesterday, tomorrow, the past, the present, and the future. Hopefully, we will welcome spirit communication. Hopefully, we will push that envelope and know that this is something that is becoming more widestream, mainstream, something that many are looking forward to, something that many are going to classes to learn to have that greater connection that we have right here as spiritualists. Know that we are the innovators. Know that we are moving forward with this spirit communication. Know that it's part of our everyday lives and that we can do things with this and we can have benefits from it and we can have things that we actually sit down and communicate with those in the spirit realm. You can also do this through mediums, but you can do it on your own through meditation. Meditating on what's going on. Maybe you have a question, maybe something that's going on in your life. Meditating on that, knowing that we are physical beings, but we are spiritual first. And that's the key. We have that connection because we are spirit as well. We are wrapped with our physical body, but inside we are spirit first. And that's what that connection, and that's how that connection is made. Know that we all each have a divine spark within each and every one of us, the God within us. That's what helps us to open our eyes, our spiritual eyes, open our ears, our spiritual ears. We open all of this up to spirit communication. And as we continue doing that, and as others continue jumping on the bandwagon, we began to make it not so scary. We began to make it that it's part of our everyday natural lives. It becomes a natural occurrence that is super. So when you're thinking about spirit communication, know that it's been around forever, since the beginning of time, I can say. It's been around. It's not something that just popped up and was a fad and just went away. No, it's been around back in the past, it's here in the present, and it's going to be in the future. So know that you have a foundational pillar of greatness, a foundational pillar of being spiritualist, being and knowing that we are human beings who have spirit communication. Bless you. Thank you.